Oh, my hair. Hi, everyone. This is Brandy with Exploring Expression.
And I'm Samantha Shampoo.
And welcome, welcome, welcome. You usually say something more there. That's
I'm
okay.
Exploring Expression.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Sunday at 7. Welcome to Sunday at 7. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week full of learning and adventure. Full of learning and adventure and opportunities. So, we have. We've had a great week. We've been studying all about dinosaurs. And before we dive into today's topic, I know several weeks ago we did a special. We did a special all about how we're studying dinosaurs.
Yes.
And just in case, ever since I decide, oh, I have all the awesome books about the universe tells me different. And today, so we took Daniel and his friend and
Oh,
his
did I do
friend's
this too
mom.
late?
We all yeah, you were a little too early there.
Oops. Oh.
Um, we went to this drive-through Jurassic Quest thing, which was fantastic. And for his birthday, his friend got him a book about. I thought we had all the books about dinosaurs,
This
but
is where I show you the book. There we
there you
go.
go. We got this book about dinosaurs, and when I tell you it's fantastic, um, honestly, I knew Daniel was going to love it, but Joshua took this book and ran off with it and just poured through it. At 17 years old, just absolutely loved this book. It's full of fantastic facts about dinosaurs. So I wanted to make sure to get this in there because this is our last week of dinosaurs.
Yes, it is.
After this weekend, we're gonna round out and we're gonna start something completely new. And stay tuned because you won't want to miss when we start talking about oceans. So I hope you're following us on Facebook. I hope you're following us on Instagram and on YouTube because we're going to be showing all of our little final projects and all of the stuff we're doing to end our dinosaur unit.
And it's been a big one.
It's been fantastic. I mean, we've done models and dioramas, and we
Legos.
we did the Lego dinosaurs. We dug things. We studied archaeology. There's dust everywhere, a fine layer of dust of all the rocks that they pounded. But we've learned so much. We've learned so much. And to cap it all off, I say this because next week we will not be having Sunday at 7. We will not have Sunday at 7 next week. Tell them why.
It's a very special day. It is the smallish boy's birthday on Sunday.
It is Daniel's birthday. And so we are going to finish our dinosaur study. We're going to be visiting the Museum of
Osteology.
Osteology in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't necessarily about dinosaurs, but it's about skeletons. And who doesn't love a good skeleton?
And most dinosaurs that you see nowadays are skeletons.
There you go. And then we're going to be spending lots and lots of time at the beach this week, even though it's cold, looking for shark teeth to finish one unit and begin another because we're getting ready to go into oceans. So, in honor of that, today what we wanted to talk about is birthdays. It's birthdays because it's his birthday. And because we're not going to be here next week because it's his birthday, we thought what a perfect time to talk about how do you make a birthday both fun and educational? How do you make a birthday both fun and educational? And we have come up with 5 tips. 5 tips from my experience with her and the other kids, and from her experience helping me, because she's my left hand. Um, and how do we make them fun? How do we make them educational? We have 5 tips. Are you ready for the first one? The first tip, you want to give that one?
Is to learn about the day. Basically just, and you can use Google. Um, just have some fun facts ready, or if you're going somewhere special like the Museum of Osteology or the beach, learn some fun facts about those places. So that way you can incorporate learning things.
Yes. And not just learning about what you're doing that day and learning about the day itself. In fact, shameless plug, in March, is it? I believe it's March
March
or
or
April.
April.
We're actually coming out with, in partnership with Ken Roshan of the Keep Smiling movement, a Celebrating Today book series. The first half is coming out in April to help you celebrate all the learning inherent in every day. But okay, commercial over. Not just not just are we learning about today, but we're also learning about your child. We're learning about your child, and we are huge, 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 huge fans in this household of Dr. Seuss. I mean, childhood and Dr. Seuss kind of go hand in hand. And as we go through more unit studies and we take you along with us, you're going to see a lot of Dr. Seuss's stuff, both for Daniel and for Joshua and for me. I love Dr. Seuss. And so we have two books we pull out year after year for birthdays. This
There we go.
one, Happy Birthday to You by Dr. Seuss. We probably read this almost every day during the month of January. Um, because January is Daniel's birthday. He claims the entire month, even though his birthday is not till the last day.
The very last day.
The second Dr. Seuss book we have is called My Book About Me. Now, I had him fill this out probably 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
When we first started working with teaching and homeschool stuff, he was probably about 2 or 3. And when he first tried to write his name, show him that page. When we were first teaching him to write his name. See that?
Oh, that has our old address on it.
Yeah. And so now we pull it out every year to remember to reteach ourselves about those ages. And he absolutely loves making books like that and recording those special things. I wish I could say I was the type of parent who kept lovely scrapbooky baby books, but I'm not. And I believe you have one that the first like 5 or 6 pages is filled out, and then you have a beautiful empty baby book.
Mhm.
But we still take the time. We take the time to learn about what we're going to do, to learn about the day, the moon, the sign, the everything about the special moment. So that was number one. You ready for number two? Okay, so number one was learn a bunch of fun facts about the day and about your child and about your stories. Number two, make them work for it. Make them work for it. We have a great example of this. Do you remember? Do you remember when we had for Joshua the pirate birthday party?
Yes. Yes.
One of the few. Now I don't do parties really anymore at all, but there was a time when we did do birthday parties, and I'm going to get to more about why for that later. But one of the things we did is the gift we got him, we hid, and we made a whole bunch of little cards that he had to go around and read the card and decipher the clue, and then it took him to the next card and the next clue, and finding the one singular gift took, I kid you not, probably 45 minutes. And it was fantastic, and he had a fantastic time.
And you don't even need to have a birthday party to do that.
Right.
I mean, I know people who've done it for like anniversaries or weddings. You know, without the party, you can just do it, you and your kid. Hide some clues throughout the house, or even like throughout the neighborhoods, like in a tree.
Scavenger hunts are fantastic ways to celebrate almost anything.
Yes.
Um, so make them use their brains and use their intuition and their creativity in the. Are you stepping on something? In
Maybe.
the day, right? In the celebration. Make the celebration a learning adventure instead of just an opportunity for cake.
Uh, any opportunity is an opportunity for cake.
Well, yes.
Just saying.
With cake. Dot, 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 with cake. How about that? So, number three. Number one was learn a whole bunch of fun facts about the day. Number two, make them work for it. Find ways to stretch and use your brain in the celebration of the time. Number three, value the experience over the gift. Value the experience. Children love being with you. Let me say that again. That's pretty important. Children love being with you. What do you want? Think about as an adult, what do we want for our birthday? Right? We want somebody to remember, take the time, and say, Happy birthday. I'm remembering you. I'm valuing your time with me. And that's what children want, just like we do, right? And so it's not always about the party and the presents and the gifts and even the cake, although cake is important. It's about the experience. You know, there was a time, I had been homeless for a while, and as a teenager, I had been taken in by this woman. Her name was Kathy, and she was very poor. And so all of us teenagers that lived with her were also very poor. And every year on our birthday, she would do this. If it's your birthday, you got to control the TV and you got what you want for dinner. And everybody had to show up. Everybody had to show up for dinner. And then everybody had to spend an hour watching what you wanted to watch on TV, even though most of them hated it. Right? Because it's the time, it's the experience. And to this day, I remember all of these teenagers and Kathy and her husband and little kids all in the living room having my favorite meal of hers, which I believe was chicken and dumplings, and watching a show that nobody else wanted to watch. And it was fantastic. And those are the experiences that kids remember. Kids will remember the experience over the gift, right? All right. So that was number 3. Number 4. We're almost there. Ready? Number 4. Let them help. Let them help. How do you make how do you make it educational, right? Let them bake a cake, bake cupcakes. Let them help make dinners. Let them, if you're having a party, let them address invitations. Think of how much writing it is. If they receive a gift, let them write thank you notes, right?
And not even just let them do all that, but like let them have input on what they want to do. So, like going to the museum and
Good
going to the
idea.
beach, Daniel wanted to do that stuff, the smallish boy. He said that those were the things he wanted to do, and that was it.
Yes. Um, Especially this year, with COVID, we're not having parties, we're not having get-togethers, we're not going out to restaurants. We're not doing a lot of those things where you'll be around other people. The museum he chose was a fairly small one, and so we could get through it in a minimum of mask wearing time and going to the beach. Um,
And it's gonna be cold at the beach, so no one's gonna be there.
it is going to be cold. It's going to be cold, but we're going to go, right? We're going to go and have a great time. But giving them that power within parameters, um, you know, Daniel's only turning 8. So I didn't say, what do you want to do in the world? Because we're not going to Disney World.
We're
We're not going to Egypt.
not gonna have a party.
We're not going to have a party. But I gave him 4, 5, 6 choices. I said, these are your choices. You decide. You decide. Because the act of making a choice is a learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity. Learning isn't just about reading, writing, arithmetic. It's about understanding that our choices matter and that we have choices. Even as a child, we have choices. We have choices. Use them. Use them. All right. So that's a wonderful point. That's a wonderful point.
I make them occasionally.
You do. You do. Must be genetic. So, final one. You ready for number 5? Number 5. How do you make your child's birthday both fun and educational? And this one is gonna seem simple, but I think it's the most important one, and it's one that most often gets overlooked. Are you ready? You ready for this? Have fun. Not your child. You. Have fun. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I tell you this from experience. If you are stressed to the max, right? If you have had it up to here with birthdays and you are not having fun, your child will not have as much fun as they could have.
And you can actually also make this a learning opportunity for yourself because you are setting parameters for your child to choose. But when you do, think to yourself, if he chooses this, will I have fun? Because if you don't have fun, they're not going to have fun. And that also includes siblings to a point. Because if they are going to complain the entire time, then you're
Our
the birthday
children never
child.
do that.
But no, like I would never on my birthday go and choose to go like to a makeup store for 4 hours because the boys would hate it. They would absolutely hate it. No one would have fun. But going to the zoo, everyone loves to go to the zoo.
Yes. These are teaching so many life skills. You know, part of making a birthday fun and educational is not just about learning about dinosaurs, which is what we're going to do, and it's fantastic, but it's about learning life skills, right? Because we want to train our children to be adults. And in doing so, we want our children to understand that we also matter, right? So if you Chuck E. Cheese for 3 hours is the last thing you want to do with your time, don't do it. However, if you go, remember these things are supposed to be fun. So, and that's why the fifth tip on how to have both a fun and educational birthday and how to make it funny and educational for your child is that look upon it in the eyes of a child and remember that birthdays are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be fun and have fun at it. So that's what we plan to do. We're going to spend all of next weekend having fun as a family and celebrating the last child I'm giving birth to, um, and having a great time and learning about dinosaurs. And then we're going to come back. We're going to come back in February with some great new content coming up. We're going to learn all about oceans. I think we have one more. Check out this book, Dinosaur One, coming up this week. And then we'll come back next week. Do we? Is it Dinosaur One? Dinosaur Lady.
Yes.
Fantastic book. And then we're going to come back next week and do some more. We're going to start talking about Valentine's Day and Black History Month and all sorts of stuff. Great things coming up in February. So you don't want to miss that as we get ready for our tour, as we get ready for the Exploring Expression tour. And if you're local in South Georgia, in February we'll also be at the Mardi Gras Festival. So come and look for us. We would love to see you there. So until then, do you have any last?
No, I'm good.
All right. And if you're online on January 31st, wish us a happy birthday or wish Daniel a happy birthday. And until next week, we'll see you later.